everybody. Today we're going to learn how you can quickly make an arrangement or design of fresh cut flowers in your home very quick and easily. We're going to be using a technique called anakubari, but before we begin I want to kind of explain where we are. We have a nice cylinder container with water that already has our floral food already combined in it. Then we're also going to use the proper tools. That is the only tool that one should use, a sharp unserrated edge blade on fresh cut flowers. And the reason we use those is because when they make a cut, you end up with a nice clean cut, as opposed to using something like snips or scissors, which, if you'll notice, crush the stems before it ever starts to cut, and then you end up with the vessels in the flower pinched close and the flower can't properly drink. So don't want to use snips, don't want to use scissors, you want to use a clean unserrated edged blade. And the proper way to use the tool is, if it's a knife, just set it in your hands like so, bring your fingers around it. That will cause the blade to come to an angle. Lift your thumb up and then to create an angle, and then what you're going to do is you're going to pull the flower away from the blade. You're not going to ever move the blade. See how I just done that? So what we're going to do, and before I get started, I also wanted to show you there is a new tool out on the market today which we have available here, and this makes cutting flowers very easy for those of you who are afraid of using a knife. All you do is push the stem in there and pull the flower out of the tool. But to get started, we're going to use a technique called kubari, and kubari is simply means using natural materials as the mechanics of your design. Properly, it's anakubari. So we just cut the stem off of this hydrangea, and we're going to use the hydrangea as our mechanics, and we're going to set it down on top of the container, just like so that it gets a nice good nestle in there. And then we're going to start pulling our other flowers in. Now we're using some Alstroemeria or Peruvian lilies here, and rather than separate each one of them, which we could do and may do, we're going to go ahead and cut that stem, and we're just going to insert them right through the hydrangea. Now you'll notice I'm also going to be grouping my flowers in this particular design, and I'm removing this foliage, by the way, because it does have a tendency to yellow and doesn't look so good. So we're going to take our Peruvian lilies and insert them right through the hydrangea. We can spread them out. As I said, I'm going to be removing the foliage off of these because they are managing to create more of a mess than they are visually aesthetic. So now we've got our lilies in there, and we're going to include some roses. Now I have a half a dozen yellow roses that we're going to put in, and we're just going to cut those stems, and we're going to insert them down in through the hydrangea. And again, I'm going to try and group like flowers, like colors together, because they're a little bit more impressive than if they're all spread out. And as you can see, it's pretty easy to do. And we've got a few more lilies we can use. Clean the stem up. Alright, so we've kind of created a line through. Now we can augment this design even further if we want to make it a little bit more bright and cheery. We can just simply create more of a festive look by adding some little accent details in here. Many different things we can do with this. If you think that's a bit much, then you might consider just simply adding a little butterfly to it. And here at Rockledge Roses and Wines, we try to make things just a wee bit different for folks. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is insert this butterfly right through this rose stem so I can get some extension on them. Get them right up above here. And now we've got our butterflies flying. I'm going to grab a little more flowers here. I think I want to just pull in a little bit more color. So what I'm going to do is just take some Monte Cassino or September flower, and I'm just going to add some of that into the design. But as you can see, this is a very quick and easy composition to make and technique to use. That we know everybody can do. And I might point out that if you are engaged to be married and are contemplating that possibility and would like to save some money on flowers, you can do your own wedding flowers if you have the right kind of knowledge. We do offer courses in do-it-yourself wedding flowers where we'll have it's a 3-day course. You learn how to make your bouquets, your centerpieces, and your personal flowers. There's more information about that online. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at 800-946-3390 or 633-5499, and we'd be able to answer your questions. But here we have a beautiful little vase arrangement in a cylinder vase, and if we wanted to do one more little detail to the piece to bring that color down, we could take just a simple piece of ribbon and tie it right around the vase. And we don't have to make a bow. So many people don't know how to make a bow, or once they've been taught, they just feel like they don't get it. It does take a little bit of practice, but what we can do rather than making a bow is we can just cut the tails off like a little, so it looks like a little bow tie. And I'm going to turn that around so you can see. But what we have here is a completed design. Thank you very much.